this makes us walk a lot on the island or the different regions in Greece, and we talk a lot with people. We see as well for ourselves that there is, for example, a lot less bees. Soil is retaining less water. The aquifers are disappearing. So yeah, soil is a big is becoming um, a thing to worry about, let's say, and to take it to care for.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Sense of a Place. Today we're joined by Ersi Varveri and Gijs Waterschoot from the island of Syros in Greece to check with us about books, community work, and how to reconnect with nature through art practices. We've been looking forward to this conversation, so let's get started. Ersi is a visual artist whose practice explores generational knowledge, storytelling, and forms of space making. She's a postgraduate at St. Lucas Art School and Royal Academy of Fine Arts in Antwerp, while previously having studied in Athens at the School of Fine Arts. Yes, he's an artist whose practice explores the intersections of ecology, publishing, and collective making, often through site-specific projects and workshops. They are both co-founders of the Pink House Press, an initiative combining independent publishing and community art, currently based in Syros, Greece. Ersi, yes, thank you for accepting our invitation. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi guys, good to see you again.
You run an artist space in Antwerp, Belgium. Why was it called the Pink House?
It was called the Pink House because it was painted pink outside.
How related was the Pink House with the harbor infrastructure?
The harbor was really present everywhere around the Pink House because there was a tunnel leading to the new harbor, and the old harbor was just next door. So there were a lot of taking the bus to work from in front of the house, basically. So the harbor was always present. Yeah.
Was the harbor also present in the whole city?
Yes. Yeah, Antwerp is a city since medieval times, and it's, I think, the third or second biggest port in Europe. Slowly, the harbor infrastructure, let's say, moved out of the city. Less sailors were present in the city, but still, it's around. You can smell it sometimes as well. The harbor. Yeah.
What did the Pink House mean for the art scene in Antwerp?
The Pink House was an artist-run space approximately 20 years in Antwerp, and different collectives from the local scene was running it and taking it over one after the other. So it was a place that many artists lived, passed by, were connected, and yeah, it was a very vibrant place connected to the local scene.
You live in Syros now, an island in Greece. What happened with the space in Antwerp?
The space is demolished since 2021, and we left 2020 because they kicked us out because they had to demolish it and rebuild a new block there. So after that move, we relocate ourselves to here in Syros, where I come from, and we started a new base here.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how important is the island of Syros regionally?
Syros is the capital of Cyclades, which is the archipelago of Cyclades, which is a group of 24 islands in the middle of Aegean Sea. Syros is historically also an important harbor. It used to have industry and many trading connections through all the Mediterranean. Yes, that's some significant things to say. Nowadays, it still has the municipality, all the services for all the islands around, and hospital and a university.
How did you adapt your practice to the Mediterranean climate?
Yeah, it's a big change than up north where I come from. Ersi grew up here because I mean she's local. For me, it's a whole adapting of my practice and our practice also because we moved out of a center city to a more like regional island, let's say. So it's a very different climate. It's very southern, so basically very fluctuant, very hot, and it can also get winterish, let's say. But how our practice adapted to it, we connected closer to nature because it's more present than in the cities. Here it's around the corner. It's everywhere. So yeah.
Right. We know you make marmalade from the figs your garden yields, and you pick capers and so on. Do you consider this practice as a form of political resistance, an art of refusal against industrial modernity?
Interesting. The marmalade making and in general what we forage converting into editions and publications, we consider them as publications, is a continuation of our zine making practice back in Antwerp. And we started making our own publication with the idea to have a very direct medium to share some ideas, some artworks, and to be able to produce our own books. And that continued in Syros, not in a paper format anymore, but as edible editions that we consider as books, equally as the books. And it's also a way to reconsider archiving, since our previous publishing practice was a lot connected with Z making. So we have piles and piles of paper, and then eventually we thought that, okay, how is this gonna continue? And adjusted to our new environment, we thought, okay, maybe the marmalade is a way to consider archive as in a different way, because you eat it and then it's gone. So in a way, is embodied the whole thing, the archive. So you don't keep it somewhere on a shelf, but you just eat it. So this is the idea behind the marmalade. Voila.
Why is the book The One Straw Revolution by Masanobu Fukuoka so important for your practice?
The book came at a point when it was the pandemic starting, and we moved out of Antwerp, so we went out of the city, let's say. So this book got recommended by a good friend, together with a few other books, and it gave us really open view towards like how modern agriculture actually is shaped historically, and how there are very different practices existing as well besides this industrial agriculture that we know about. And one of them is like natural farming, which is basically what Fukuoka's book is about. And it's about not only farming, but it's as well about the philosophy of agriculture and nature. And so yeah, it opened our view towards growing food, because we had the possibility to do it here as well. Yeah.
Could you give us a concrete example how you apply the ideas in this book in your context?
Yeah, basically we are not really farming. We are growing things, but a small scale, let's say. So it's more like we're trying out different techniques, and one of them was Fukuoka's clay seed ball technique. It's like a clay ball full with seed. I cannot explain. I'm not going to explain how it exactly is. What's the ingredients, but basically this means that you throw the seeds with the clay balls together on the field, and they will grow whenever the time is right for them to grow, and they're protected as well from the weather, from the ants, from the birds. And this is a technique that we apply. Yeah, and it's also a reforestation technique, regreening technique, which we learned by one of the students of Fukuoka as well here in Greece, up north.
And are these ideas applicable on a larger scale? Let's say in Greece?
Yes. They threw, I don't know, some million seeds or something, clay seed balls to regreen a burned area, and they throw them with helicopters and aeroplanes. So it's a very simple technique. It just needs motivation and basic infrastructure to do it in a larger scale, and patience, I guess.
Since you farm, do you see any changes occurring in the soil of Syros lately?
Yeah, as I told before, we're kind of we're farming, but more to see how the plants grow and how we can have the possibility to grow. We're not really farming to like eat or distribute, but for sure we're more into foraging. So we harvest wild edible plants, and this makes us walk a lot on the island or the different regions in Greece, and we talk a lot with people. We see as well for ourselves that there is, for example, a lot less bees. Soil is retaining less water. The aquifers are disappearing. So yeah, soil is a big is becoming a thing to worry about, let's say, and to take it to care for this time of day.
Also, speaking about Syros, it's becoming more and more touristic, and then the tourist that is being applied here is more it's suggested as luxurious and upper class. So in the future, less and less people will be able to afford to be here, and more huge I don't know, not really hotels, but like a different kind of luxurious accommodation will be built, and then public space and nature is shrinking. That's what we see right now. We don't know whether that will change or not, but this is what Cyclades. That's what happens in Cyclades, and this is how it is shaping right now.
Right.
We strive for the the best, though.
Changing a bit the not the topic, but the relation between Syros and the region. Did the death clouds carried by the wind from the bombardments in Gaza make the rainway in Syros more acidic?
It did.
I mean, this is like a kind of a strange question, but I think depends on the wind direction, and it can either come from Sudan or Ukraine or from, I don't know, some kind of small conflict somewhere else. I think like what makes the rain more acidic is a bit global effort, and this in the war industry, let's say, which still has like a huge impact on the global warming. So I think it's not only like one conflict. I think it's the attitude and the way, let's say, the empire is handling its industry that is making the rain acidic, not only on Syros but on like on the planet, let's say. Yeah.
Also talking about Syros and the atmosphere, we have another aspect that is more direct to us. There is a shipyard that produces a lot of air pollution and sea pollution daily, and it's in the heart of the city. So this is something that we witness as well daily.
Earlier this summer, protests in Hermopoli hindered the attempt to dock an Israeli cruise ship. How important was this moment for Syros?
The important thing that happened was that there was a huge charity movement that happened this summer that started from this day that the cruise ship was blocked here. Anyway, it's another discussion, like what happened exactly, and the Israeli tourists never came out. But what has happened ever since, the citizens of Syros stood together and raised their voice and became an example to the rest of at least the country.
But yeah, I mean, what happened was totally not planned. It was a cruise ship coming and people gathering because we couldn't sit still and not let our voices be heard, you know, that this is that we not tell what is going on in the state of Israel and Palestine. So we just out of pretty with especially the Palestinian people, we gathered and we walked towards the ship, and then the captain of the ship decided not to let the Israeli tourists out, and decided to return after 4 hours. So nobody got out of the ship, and we were kind of overwhelmed with okay, this, and lucky and overwhelmed as well with like the small act of solidarity, what it can mean for other places as well, because the ship is like it's traveling the whole summer in all different ports in Syros, and what happens now is that it's part of Syros because it knows it's not welcome here as long as this thing is happening, you know. So I think this has created a big like a very an energy of solidarity between the locals. Of course, this is a bigger discussion. It's there are as well people who don't care about this and people who are against it.
We have experienced a lot of interruptions due to the storm you have in Syros now. All in one, thank you very much for answering our questions.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.